Taking another trip on Saturday. So why this show of force? With me now, frenemies, John Thomas, who is a GOP strategist, and Dave Jacobson, a Democratic strategist. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Now, I just want to list who's with Vice President Pence. His wife, I didn't even mention her, so it's six. So his wife is with him, the Secretary of Labor, the Secretary of Transportation, the Secretary of Energy, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, and the Acting Secretary of Homeland Security. Right? So why all the people, John?
I think it's important. It is a tightrope to walk here. You know, you don't want to steal the show and look like you're using something for political gain. But at the same time, it's clear that President Trump and Vice President Pence are trying to show that this is a huge priority to the administration. And so by bringing out the cabinet officials, I think it's their best way of showing that.
I think it was a missed opportunity for Donald Trump when he first came here to not look like an egomaniac. The reality is the guy didn't show any empathy or sympathy for people who were in pain. And right? He didn't even comment on the officer who had been killed.
Because you would say he went too far. If he went and met with the victims, you'd say he's such a narcissist. It's all about him. He was trying to strike a balance.
This was an opportunity for him to step up and use the bully pulpit of that powerful office that is the President of the United States.
Which he did.
And to make people feel better.
He's going to go back on Saturday, and maybe he'll stop by the evacuation. You know, I had Sheila Jackson Lee on. She's a Democrat, so of course she would be critical. Right. But she's suggesting that President Trump go to the shelter in Houston. Because people need to see him.
And that's a great suggestion. It's nice to see him coming back. This is a top priority of the president. You know, can't do it all in one day, and it's a delicate line because everyone accuses the president of being a narcissist.
Look, I think it's great that he's coming back. I think it underscores the fact that this is a lesson learned. It was a missed opportunity earlier this week, and perhaps round two, he'll do a better job.
Okay, so far, every public official in Texas is saying the Trump administration is doing a great job, right? In fact, President Trump and Vice President Trump are sort of saying they're doing a good job. They're on it. They're ready. General Russell Honore, you know, he's the guy that took charge after Katrina, did a great job there. He has a problem with that. He says, stop patting yourselves on the back, everyone, because this thing isn't over. Let's listen.
Something is significantly wrong with our command and control, and they need to stop patting each other on the back while these poor people out here waiting to be rescued. The American people have put too much confidence in us. We've been too successful overseas deploying to come out an amateur hour and incrementally deploy the force. You got to come in big, and you got to be there right at the edge of the storm so you can come in as soon and go in and rescue people.
So, John, I understand why President Trump and Vice President Pence are reaching out and congratulating rescue works because they are doing a fantastic job. What General Honore is saying, hold off a bit because you don't know what's going to happen. You just don't know.
Yeah, and he makes a great point. I mean, there shouldn't be pats on the back, but I think what the president has done and Governor Abbott and others is talking about what really to me is the big story is the combination of the government and non-government and volunteers that are working together. And I think that's part of what the president is trying to encourage, is saying, we're working together. This is working. Let's keep going. But he's right. It's far from over.
Well, I think that's the challenge, right? This is going to be an issue that we're going to be tackling for the next several months and years. And if you look at the Trump administration's budget that they put forward for Congress, they were going to slash FEMA by $700 million, right? So the question is, thinking long-term and strategically as we look forward to the budget, the debt ceiling, what is President Trump's plan going to be when it comes to really methodically funding this recovery effort?
Okay, on that note, last question, because I have to ask about funding, right? Do you think a clean bill will be introduced in Congress, and do you think it will fly through?
Absolutely. This is one of those rare moments in politics where I think you're going to see bipartisan support of a funding bill.
I think you're going to see, right, you should see a lot less brinkmanship and log jamming in Washington. This is something people need to step up to the plate, put country first over politics.
And it's been amazing to see people come together, both politicians and non-politicians in this process.
That has been a beautiful thing.
Indeed.
Miss Frenemies. John Thomas, Dave Jacobson, thank you so much for joining me this morning. The flooding in Houston did not stop one surgeon from getting to a patient who needed